Hey there guys, this is Kitengela CBS and today we are doing our interview at Sandalwood Hotel located along Nairobi Namanga Highway. Ukiwa tu pale after umetoka Kitengela stage on your way to Kingia Trivi, you see them on your left hand side as we're heading towards Kakucha. They offer various services including swimming, accommodation, conference halls, and there's so many things that you can enjoy today. Give them a call today through the number that displays down there for any service that you want. Welcome. Hey there ladies and gentlemen, what is leadership? Leadership is what I'm thinking and what we're thinking. But by thinking and thinking, leadership could be very different. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Kitengela CBS now brings you a new format and a new view of leadership and what it means. Tonight, on our conversation, I have Honorable Timothy. We're going to be talking to him. We're going to be sharing with him a little bit about politics, about leadership stuff, and whose hands is Kitengela going to be saved. Welcome to our discussion this beautiful day. How are you doing, Washimiwa?
I'm doing well, Brother.
Yes, I'm good.
Yes.
Happy to meet you.
Nice to have you as well.
Sure.
Yes.
How is that going?
All is well.
Sure.
Catching up here and there.
Yes.
Pushing the wheel of leadership. Having been a resident in Kitengela Ward, actually I've stayed for 12 years.
12 years in Kitengela?
12 years in Kitengela.
Oh.
So I know it in and out, and when I stand into leadership,
yes,
I realize the challenges that my nature faces.
Sure.
And I've seen the solution, what can I do?
Sure.
Instead of just sitting back and complaining, this is happening, but what solutions do I have?
Yeah.
That's why I step forward, not as a leader, but as a servant.
Sure.
I've offered my life to be a servant to Kitengela Ward.
Yeah.
So that I can bring in the light or the change that I envision in myself, and through their support, it's possible.
Sure.
It's possible.
Oh, wow. Looking at a few days ago, Mheshimiwa, we celebrate about Madaraka Day. Where do you weigh Kenya, by the way? Over 60 years old Kenya. Is Kenya worthy by then to be called Kenya? At 63?
As a proudly Kenyan,
yes.
I'm proud to be Kenyan. Yes, I'm proud to be 63. However, we are in an era of colonialism. We call it the neo-colonialism.
By who?
By the whites. Whites are not yet out of our land.
Our giant.
Our giant.
Really?
Still here, but now it's a refurbished colonialism. Whereby we talk, you're given the freedom, but it's not the freedom. In your mindset, you say not the freedom, but in real nature, there's some gaps and caps that you should operate within.
Yes.
So, as much as on economic fact, I feel as a nation we still need to do high. It's not that we don't have resources to run Kenya. We have enough resources.
Yes.
But our issue is the leaders that we have.
Yes.
We have the two bureaucrats leaders who once they step in, they don't want to consider pale wametoka, they don't want to consider wananchi. If I can put this insight well in relation to Kitengela currently.
Yes.
It's been 10 years we've been voting. Now let me narrow it down let me start with the ward level so that we can take it to a national level.
Yes.
Because now it touches all gaps about management.
Yeah.
Having stayed in important court that I've stayed in Kitengela for 12 years. And when we consider the kind of population, there's a growth in population. But when it comes to infrastructure, it's not matching up with the current growth of population.
Yes.
So now we are on a chase race whereby development has to catch up with the population instead of population catching up with development. This happens when you have leaders who don't know planning ahead.
Yes.
We have to move this word from an emergency responsive center to a preparedness center. Whereby we can foresee in 20 years to come.
Yes.
How do you want to see Kitengela? What's your vision as a leader for Kitengela?
Yes.
Whereby, because you can find mostly Kitengela is favored as a center hub. To me, I feel Kitengela is a center hub because it's near access to Namanga.
Yes.
It's near access to Nairobi. access to Mombasa Road all the way to the river in Machakos.
Yes.
So it means if the county government can come in, can take the advantage of the location of Kitengela and maybe reduce the taxes
Yes.
and attract investors within Kitengela. Let's say we can have things like warehouses in Kitengela. We can have special economic zones, whereby you will see in a long run, it's we put it with, we always say it's one stone killing two birds.
Yes.
So once our roads are better, once our taxation are friendly to the investors,
yes,
it means we will attract more people, we will attract more businesses.
Yes.
Having a major hub of businesses in Kitengela, we've created employment to our youth. Because on the other end, you will find that Kitengela has vibrant and energetic youth, both skilled and semi-skilled.
Yes.
And you'll find that what they lack involvement to the government.
Yeah.
So now when they bring it into this bigger perspective onto the national government related to the economy, as you had asked Mr. Khaled, you'll find all the issues lies on taxation. The government believes for us to collect money, we have to overtax Mwananchi.
Yes.
But now the problem is once you remove the shilling from Mwananchi's pockets,
yes,
you've already committed a crime to that Mwananchi.
Umemnyoka.
Because
yes,
I always prefer it this way.
Yes.
Charge small.
Yes.
But let the regulation like here
yes,
to be on the spot and to make sure each and every Mwananchi pays taxes.
Sure.
And if you charge me fairly, basically I feel the guilt is required immediately tax. But at the end of the day, when I shilling, I see the value of that shilling. That shilling came into my pocket.
Yes.
Went to the government.
Yes.
But what did it? You know, the anger and the agitations come to Mwananchi whereby you delightfully file returns, follow all the, you give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar,
yes,
as it is said. But now when you give to that Caesar becomes like is a king who wants everything for himself. He does not consider the one who contributed this at the end of the day.
Yes.
Needs to see where did this shilling make an impact.
Yeah.
So once as the government considers, let's make sure we have an impact of every shilling collected from what level. If we collect taxes to Mwananchi, yule mama mboga anauza mboga zake jioni umeenda kwa soko.
Yes.
Mahali anauzia mboga ni pachafu.
Imagine. Na atachukuliwa 30 shillings.
Umeenda umechukua 30 shillings.
Yes.
Lakini kesho haoni ofisa wa county akikuja akifagia mahali ile 30 shillings inaokotwa.
Imagine.
Haoni mtaro ikipita, mvua ikinyesha, this drainage system endelee kufanya kazi yake. Haoni hata street light, at least aseme ikifika saa 1 saa 2 jinsi ikiingia can still say because kuna street light.
Yeah.
Those are the things. We are contributing every day, we are supporting the government. And actually for Mwananchi is to support the government.
Sure.
And we know for government ni mimi na wewe.
Ndio.
Sio mtu mwingine tena ugando. It's just me and you. It's my contribution and your contribution.
Yes.
That makes, but we have to have a unified leader. That's why.
Yes.
One president who unites all the tribes in Kenya as
yes.
one unity. If he says yes, he says yes. If he says no. Now, also we need to consider who are we putting on the forefront as the leaders. Are they people, when they get up there, they consider their lives or they also consider Mwananchi? So as I related to back to Mama Mboga, relation with the lakini yake amekupea vizuri, lakini haoni kazi ile hiyo 30 shilingi yake haoni inamsaidia wapi. So the moment we start putting into practical, I've collected tax, yes, but they are better roads. I've collected tax, but their streets are safe at night and during the day they are street lights. I've collected the tax, but residents can access water, fresh and clean water.
Yes.
Like you can find how, for us to reduce the cost of living at our level.
Yeah.
It starts with us. How do we reduce the pressure from Mwananchi? Yule mwenye amenichagua 2027 anasema chaneke tu MC.
Yeah.
Anaona niko na mafaida gani mbele yake baada ya kuleka pale. kumpunguzia gharama. Kumpunguzia gharama imaanishi kumlipia rent. Kumlipia pesa ya chakula.
Na utumia $1,000.
Kumtumia $1,000. You can't serve them all.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. Yule manager anaweza toka anunue maji alikuwa ananunua 2026 maybe sahi ananunua maji kwa mtu mmoja. Consider homestead in Jamombe whereby one household has 4 or 3 occupants. So the consumption of water in that family,
yes,
it can be 3 to 4 jerrycans
a day.
So make a calculation of 50 bob per jerrycans to 4 jerrycans per day. That's 200 purely on water.
Yes.
Ajakula, ajaenda shule. So kuna school fees, kuna rent, kuna mfanyikazi mwenye anaachia mtoto bill. So you'll find by the time 1,000 is nothing to manage. Actually, as you approach elections, say as you campaign, pia mwananchi mia hata anashindwa what will I do with 100 dollars. Basi hizi vita zote ni sisi kama mimi tunajiletea. If you reduce the burden to mwananchi, tuseme ananunua maji 50 shillings, but when you step in as MC 2027, I make sure that it comes down from 50 shillings to at least 30 shillings.
50, 30.
Yes. But how do I reduce?
Yes, that's the question. How do you reduce?
How do I make sure there are more piped water connection in Kitengela? How do I put the government to make sure that we have more boreholes within Kitengela, so that for us to reduce the cost of water, its accessibility is one thing. Right now, many households believe on supply of water maybe through mkokoteni, ile nasukuma na kule.
Inakuja ikisema maji.
Yes. Or you order, you have your guy who delivers for you to some estates in Kitengela.
Yes.
Huyo mtu wa mkokoteni, have you considered ndo afikishile maji kwako? Njia ametumia njia gani? Okay, the roads that has used for passable, because you know the more the hardship ile matope mabonde anapitia, it calculates to the cost of so once we have better roads in Kitengela, it means yule mtu wa mkokoteni atafikishia kwa rahisi. Kwa sababu barabara ni nzuri, there are tarmac roads. Yule mtu pia ataconsider pale nilikuwa na charge 50 bob kwa mtu mwingine, lakini acha nipeleke na 20 bob because it's easy to access. So it all starts with infrastructure. When I talk about infrastructure, I don't mean just roads. I don't mean just buildings, because actually the main problem we have in Kitengela currently is they approve buildings, but they don't approve support facilities like drainage, like sewer. They don't put installation together. That's why you find whereby we're moving into a place. We're growing to nearly a slum.
Yes.
There's high population, but there are no infrastructure to serve that population.
Sure.
Also, most of the things is when we can approve a building, let's consider that building comes with 1 or 2 months.
Now, let me ask you, is that now the work of an MCA?
An MCA is oversight. Yes, an MCA role is actually oversight. So,
you present
what you can, yours is a watchdog. You can go to the planning department and tell them, hey, guys, it's good to approve for apartments. It's not bad.
Yes.
But have you considered the drainage system for that apartment? Have you considered sewer line for that apartment? It's waste. How does it get out of that apartment to a safely disposal area? Because we find most in the cases whether it rains or not. Some apartments release sewer on the roads.
Shikilia hapo mheshimiwa. We have been Honorable TK. As we talk in Kitengela I Will, telling us what to do. Let me tell you something about Novala Beehives. Located in Devki in River. Wanakupa nafasi ya kununua asali pale, wanakupa nafasi ya kununua beehives, wanakupa nafasi wewe kama mkulima wa nyuki unapata ile elimu apiculture, you are being taught there. And finally what they do is wananunua products zako wewe kama mkulima. Look at what they do at the short break. We are coming to continue.
Beekeeping is very easy. As long as you have a land, you are good to go. Unahitaji tu kasehemu kadogo, but ukianza na moja, the moment umeanza na moja na imekupeleka vizuri ukapata asali, utakuwa na that zeal of doing it more and kutaka kuharvest more kwa sababu umeona pesa.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for watching us. We have Honorable TK. You can also give us your comments or your view on how do you rate him between 1 and 10. Unamwona kwapi so far in our conversation. Now, Mheshimiwa, first of all, there's a problem in our schools. Anasema kwamba we need to close schools. What's your take?
First, before we go too far from this discussion, I'd like us to take 1 minute or 1 second to honor the Hela employees who lost their lives in a tragic accident yesterday. So I'd prefer we take a second to remember them. May the departed soul rest in peace, and may those who are in hospital also quick recovery to them. May God see through with them. And for the bereaved families and friends, we stand with you. And we wish you well.
Thank you. Wow, that's amazing. Before even we go to schools, I know we're going to be meetings, we're going to be having interviews with some of the victims, wale ambao walipoteza wazazi wao, walipoteza ndugu zao, walipoteza watoto wao, they lost their children, were breadwinners. What's the message to have?
Actually, at this moment, for me to Hela employees, I feel it's a double tragedy for them, because we're still pushing for their delayed payments. They were terminated, remember, and without any payment. It's been months. I've been pushing for this thing. I've been pushing the CEO PZA. Actually, I've tabled a letter as we speak today. Tabled a letter to him on that, asking him to respond in 4 days on to tell us on the matters what steps have they taken so far to make sure that the affected employees receive what they have been paid. Neither is there any communication on payment up to date. So, to me, I feel to them it's a double tragedy, because here those who have passed, actually they have gone without receiving the legal warrant to pay, which I feel is bad. Now, it should be a humanitarian attack to those people who are holding those cash, because how are you feeling right now? You're holding someone's wage, and that person is no more to enjoy what he or she wants.
Sure.
How do you feel as management who was there, or as a union representative who was there, who acted as an advocate for these employees? Back to EPZA as an oversight authority. How did an investor cease operation, exit the zone without notice of the authority, without as an authority being aware that this company is coming down, it's being closed, its operation, but have we followed that the employees that they been paid? Those are things we need to. So you can consider family whereby it has a relative or a brother. Now that brother is still grieved, still waiting for the payments of their wage. Now that person has also lost their life. So I pray for God's strength to all help, because there's, as much as we may push, but we need God to guide us, we need God to intervene in this matter. It's a heavy one, but personally as an aspirant in Kitengela, I'll stand with the Hela and make sure this is the last company. It will be closed without employees receiving their wages.
Sure. Nice one. Now let's go back to schools, ambapo tuliona shule moja hata watoto waliweza kuchomwa na kuchomekea pale. Tuliona pia, tunaendelea kuona pia schools have been closed because at this. What's the take on that, by the way, when schools have been closed and children going on? First, from the government, what does that show?
To me, for there to be performance, there has to be discipline. So, let's plot it down to a family perspective. As a man, as the head of the family, if your house is in chaos, do you run away? Do you shout to the neighbors? Do you write a notice board on the edge of the plot that my house is on fire? Or do you sit down as a man and ask yourself, if my kids are turning against me, what's their grievances that I've not met as a father? Or
Yes.
why am I failing as a parent?
Yes.
So, in answering your question, Mr. Cullen, if I take it to the school, I take it back to the responsibility. First, it starts with the head teacher. You are there as a custodian of these students. The parent is not there.
Yes.
Me as a parent, I've done my best. I'll make sure that my kid has school fees. I've submitted that kid in your hands safely. So, as a principal, as the head of the school, you have to know these are your kids. You are the head of that family.
Sure.
How safe are they? In case, let it not just put it on fire, but let's say an earthquake happens.
Yes.
What are the exit measures that the schools have taken? Because this, I always consider a tragedy can be an eye-opener to a major tragedy that yes, it's yet to happen.
Yes.
Because if there's a cause of alarm on fire and we've lost 16 students.
Yes.
The other day in Russia we lost, was it 23?
It was so many.
Yeah. So, how long as leaders are we waiting, or for how long do we wait to see on media that parents took their children to school but they lost their lives? Actually, the whole hope of a parent is to see my kids succeed, go to a better school, achieve his dream, and at least when I grow old, I watch my kid. He's also having a family. That's always a dream of every parent. But now, if schools becomes unsafe, so where there's performance, there should be discipline.
Sure.
And if you say if the kids are agitated to an extent whereby they have to burn a school for them to be considered, then we are heading into it narrows down all through to voters. If they can't trust what they used to get in the schools for them to be listening, they are heading in a wrong direction. So can you have can there be counseling to the students? Can they be told on the consequences? If you ban the school,
Yes.
this and this what happens. Like those schools those students who have lost their fellow students, they should know. If you cause a fire, that fire can end someone. But if you have an issue to rise, how can you rise it? How can you release it? Those are things we should come across, and I feel those are the solutions that we should be putting across.
Wow, nice one. Hata nikiwekwa this whole discussion of should CCTV cameras ziwekwe ndani ya dormitories?
It depends where in the dormitory.
Many students wanalala.
It's infringement of privacy. Under Constitution of Kenya, it's infringement of privacy because the camera should not access me where I'm dressing up. It should not access me how I'm sleeping. So, who is surveilling who when I'm asleep, or as I change my clothes as a student? You know, it's good to have surveillance, but can we consider students' privacy? That's why you find maybe those videos are the ones we see on the internet of small kids are happily naked posted. How sure are we that those footage are safe?
Question, thank you. Let's talk about Kenyans bado wanaanza kuongelea about Ebola. They're not satisfied with what government is agreeing to, and buying the idea of that we need a quarantine facility in Laikipia in another part of the country.
Yes.
Also take out of that baby. Inafaa vile?
To me, Ebola is a serious health pandemic and should be taken with cautiousness. And instead of spreading misinformation, can the government come out here? Because if they say this is just one of the facilities we have among the 23, where are the other 22? Instead of panic, of putting Kenyans into panic. Can they be informed? These are the effects. And how do you prevent yourself? What are the preventive measures? What are the surveillance measures that the government has taken?
Yes.
Our borders, how safe are they? Because once you put a nation into panic, then you have already killed them with their panic syndrome even before. Today, someone else can be coughing and say, I have a ball. Tomorrow, someone can wake up with a clogged nose, with a bleeding nose, with a running nose or bleeding nose.
Yes.
As I'm letting the scientific term to call it, but that person can be in panic and say, I have Ebola, because there is misinformation.
Yes.
So once you...
Now, Mheshimiwa, we are heading towards the general elections. If people mko na imani na IEBC, and before that, by the way, unakuja na chama gani?
One time.
Wata kuna DCP, kuna Wiper, kuna Jubilee, kuna Sweden.
I'm one person who likes studying the ground before you make a move. So, ground I'm not against DCP, but it's not settling well with me. But I will find out with time and I'll communicate.
Lakini uko kwa opposition?
Niko kwa opposition.
Wow, mko na imani na IEBC?
Now, we should support independent reforms, and I believe Kenyans deserve a transparent and electoral one.
Yes.
Accountable one and credible one.
Yes.
So, I feel we should support. First, instead, for us to build the trust. What support have I offered to IEBC to make sure that the results that they air after elections are credible, they are accurate, and they are as per what Mwananchi wants? Because we don't want a situation whereby Mwananchi wants A but they get D. With an M, knowing that they'll go in the streets 2 days, 3 days, at the end of the day, who will receive the swords will rule. This time round in 2027, we want to change it to consider Mwananchi voice has been put into consideration. So, I don't have any doubts with IEBC. It's a new board.
Yes.
It may have its setbacks and its faults, we all know it,
yes,
about credibility. But I believe the current chairman, Mr. Ethical, will serve Kenyans better than Kiwitu did.
Yes.
Don't make sure that Kenya doesn't go in Kiwitu way. And God will bless you for that.
Yes. Let me give you a very tricky question. Turudi tu Kajiado kidogo before we wind up.
Yes.
How do you rate the current leadership out of 10? Yote. Kwanzia governor mpaka MCs or all the 24 wards or whatever.
Actually, what I can tell you right now, the question should be, how are you moving on after being failed for 10 years by the current leaders? What's our healing process, and how are we making sure that we are not going back to the same?
Which is that leader in Kajiado you admire performance in serving Mwananchi? Just one, there's the governor Lengo, there's the senator Kanari Seki, there's the women rep Honorable Lea Sengaire, there are the 5 constituencies MPs, and there are, I don't know, 23 or 24 MCS.
All those you've mentioned, I can characterize them into one name, Melon. So you see the name Melon, depends on how you arrange the letters. You can get a lemon and you can also get melon. So it's just the same word, but a rearrangement of letters give different perspective.
Really?
So what is actually to me, all those you've mentioned, they're just the same people using different names. To me, I feel who served us better, I can relate maybe to Biko, Paris Tobiko. If you are here during, okay, it's not that I have any personal relationship to her. Actually, she doesn't know me. But when she served as an MP, I felt the presence of her leader. Because she used to engage communities at least on particular Sundays, I've attended 2-3 of our gatherings whereby she's telling communities on. I've attended a meeting chaired by Peristo Valley.
Wow.
That's where she was an MP. So I can say at least she's someone who's connected to Mwananchi kidogo. This who comes 5 years election after 5 years there is. Right now, in a group of 10 youths, if you ask them, tell the name of your MCA, they can't tell you.
Hey, mimi niulize nitakwambia.
Because you're a media person, you're a journalist, you know them. But how about local Mwananchi who voted for one person who was seen during the election and will be seen again in 20 coming campaign?
That's unfortunately for leaders elected.
So to me, when you tell me the stand of our current situation in Kitengela, it's failure. We should heal because
This failure in Kitengela.
it's failure in Kitengela.
Now the next question. For the people of Kitengela, how do we now move or step out of this failure to the better Kitengela and a better Kajiado and above all a better country that we shall all enjoy?
I call upon Kitengela residents right now. I can tell them the message is clear. Let's trust in ourselves.
Yes.
Let's pick someone from our own community, someone who resides from this problem. Like Timothy Kakucha is someone who wakes up on the same muddy roads every morning is waking up. Timothy Kakucha is someone who wakes up on the same dusty roads every morning is waking up.
Yes.
Timothy Kakucha is someone who's working through the sewage lines that are discharged on the roads by the buildings, apartments. So, can we have a leader who's rooted into our problems, who has a community humane heart of feeling, I've seen this problem, and instead of generation to suffer on the same, I can stand on a change. At least they will say, in 2027 there was Timothy Kakucha who built their own.
What in the when the project
Of who?
of someone sent you to mobilize people,
And then
before 2027 you disappear. You give.
I'm a servant to Mwananchi. I'm out here to serve Mwananchi.
Na aliniambia utatoroka.
Actually, I'm not connected or rooted to anyone. Actually, if you ask me any one of the big names I know, I'm not connected to anyone and my phone is free. It's Timothy Kakucha.
Waliniambia na mobilize tu na apotee. Hata enda kwa debe.
Then if they know my intentions, why do they mention who sent you? If you have the message, why don't you have the sender? How can you receive a message without the sender? It's propaganda, it's hot air, it's a threat they are feeling.
You will walk hadi kwa debe.
For them they niko, and they'll make sure Mwananchi knows why they should vote for Timothy Kakucha. I will make sure they have a better reason to vote for Timothy Kakucha.
So utatembea kwa debe.
Mpaka kwa debe na.
Wow. Waliniambia nikuuliza breakfast kwa nini nataka wakuje.
Breakfast is served every day, it depends on location and time.
Your breakfast.
We take breakfast every day. You took breakfast in the morning.
They need. When are you going to call people and tell them that I, Honorable TK, I want this seat? Utangaze msimamo. Wananiambia you're taking long.
What other msimamo do they need? I'm campaigning on all social media platforms. Moving to the ground and meeting various youth groups. So which other msimamo do they want? You know, we should shun from politics whereby he's a politician, he has money to give us. I don't have money to give to the community, but I have ideas. I have plans of growth that will serve this generation and our kids and our grandkids.
What?
That's so let us not just look on the tea that you'll take.
Yes.
30 minutes later you will urinate over there and you'll forget about it. But can we think about roads? Can we think about having ICT hub in Kitengela? Can we think about having youths incorporated into leadership whereby at least a youth can understand this allocation of funds meant for youths, how do they benefit from it? How do we hold hands of Mwananchi, of this youth who just graduated from campus. He's still nervous, he's still naive, he doesn't know where they came from.
Sure.
This life. So once we engage youth, we are also improving security, because I believe an engaged youth cannot be involved in petty crimes like stealing and burglary.
Yeah.
So if we have training centers like this can earn skills, like ICT hub, in my vision is part of manifesto that I want to have. Like we have an ICT hub in Kitengela,
Yes.
whereby youth can acquire skills, technology, because COVID-19 should have taught us something. That physical job can come to an end one day.
Yeah, sure.
How are we equipping the coming generation technologically such that a physical job, physical salary. Fellow Kitengela residents, this is Timothy Kakucha, a person who comes from Kitengela, who understands your problem, who lives in you, understands the daily challenge that we always wake up to. From the bad roads, I'll not come with the same promise that each and every other politician makes in each campaign here. But I want to bring a new perspective whereby you as Mwananchi, you as Kitengela resident, before you go to a ballot paper and make a decision, what pushes you to elect that leader? Let's not elect someone on tribal lines, on where you come from or what you do. Let's have an educative electoral system this time around, whereby we weigh someone as their ability on what they can do. I stand here not as a leader but as a servant, whom I'm ready to serve you, who I'm willing to dedicate my life for accountability, transparency, and bring in the change that Kitengela residents have been lacking for so long. It's time for change, and I believe in my 5 years term, I'll have improved health, I'll have improved youth employment and skills acquiring on the youth. I'll have improved accessibility on roads, because when you talk on infrastructure, we have to consider our roads. If the roads are better, even our kids go to school in a quiet environment, in preparedness for them to learn. They can't pass through up and downs of potholes and still concentrate on classic. It will be a smooth transition. When we talk about security, I don't mean police presence into the streets, but I mean having security lights into the streets equipped with surveillance cameras, so that you can be able to track down to criminals and to the petty crimes that happens in Kitengela. For instance, if we take Kitengela has become a hot protest zone during protests. Yes, it's good for Mwananchi to demonstrate because it's their right in the constitution, but how do we make them feel you can demonstrate without destroying or just any property or without breaking in to a neighbor's shop? So we need to make our youths understand their participation into governance. Once we engage youths into leadership, also we reduce their agitation against the leaders, because dear Kitengela residents, this is the right time to have in a good leader, and a leader based on performance and the plans he has for Kitengela. He's not a one-time leader during election, but someone who will work with you even after electing him. I humbly request for your vote. Listen to my manifestos. I campaign online in all social media platforms, in Facebook and TikTok. You can follow it, Timothy Kakucha. I have daily campaign insights, so I share on the challenges and the solutions that we have as an upcoming leader of Kitengela residents. Thank you for having me. Hope you'll consider me in your private moment as you take that ballot. Take Timothy Kakucha.
Wow, thank you so much, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you, Brother Karen, for having me today.
Yes, that's been amazing.
It's been amazing.
Sure.
To have you.
Wewe ukiingia kwenye uongozi, wewe utusahau vijana, tutakusalimia.
Salamu tunakutana kila siku kwa njia habari. Ile salamu nimekupea.
Kuna ile emergency.
Yeah, tutafikishana hapa mafela Jackson.
Yes.
Nimeumia kama wao.
Sure.
Siwezi kubali kuwarudisha pale walikuwa miaka 10 iliyopita.
Yeah.
At least kuwe na mabadiliko, kuwe na maendeleo.
Sure.
Hiyo ndio Kenya tunayotamani kila siku.
Hapo sasa.
Asante sana.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So thank you so much guys for watching that episode in one with Honorable TK. You're gonna be winning and vile amesema you're gonna do your ile way bwana. Huyu kiongozi does he have what I need. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye for now. Hey there guys, this is Kalebo CPS and today we are doing our interview at Sundown Hotel located along Nairobi Namanga Highway. Ukiwa tu pale after kutoka Kitengela stage on your way to Kingia tu hivi, you see them on your left hand side as we're heading towards Kajiado. They offer various services including swimming, una accommodation, una conference halls, and there's so many things that you can enjoy today. Give them a call today through the number that is placed down there for any service that you want.